Whoa! Back in the studio. What's up, everybody? I feel great. Welcome to Garden Sound 365. My name is Garden Sound. This is the show where I write music every day for a year, and we all give away a bunch of money to charity. Today is episode 101. Whoa! If you haven't seen yesterday's video, go check that out. I produced it with a friend of mine named Jason Murray. He's the guitarist in that video. Very talented guitarist. I heard some cool music today. That'll be today's turn up. This is by our friend Cassius Clay. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Over on SoundCloud, I'll put a link to his channel below. I've had a lot of great things happen recently, and we're going to go over all of them in today's episode. So I had a nice vacation. I went home. I spent a good 4 days. Well, I wouldn't say, it's not my home actually. I spent a good 4 days in my hometown. Got to hang out with my brother and my sister, which was really nice. If you want to meet them and see what they're like, I did an interview on every member of my immediate family. Go check out those episodes from the week of Thanksgiving if you haven't. I interviewed my dad, my mom, my brother, and my sister, and you can see what great, lovely people they are. Got a couple of things that I have to show you all. All right, everybody. I had some people ask me, how do I request music? How do I get music? Exactly like what our friend Matt Carroll did. So this is the video, how to make Casey Neistat music the easy way, okay? And Matt Carroll said he wants to use this for a short video that he'll be making of his trip to the Bahamas. And that's exactly what you need to do if you want to request music from me. Just leave a comment on the video. What I'm going to do is actually upload it to Dropbox. I have a folder there that I've made public. And I'm going to be posting the link to that as soon as I get that uploaded. So I'll say something like, hey Matt, thanks for your interest. Here's the link. Something else that people have been wondering about is how they download the music. So in my videos, I've got that little splash screen that shows up. Here's what it looks like. Right, so I've got that little splash screen. And people are like, okay, what do I do then? How do I get there? Well, it's very easy. You just go to www.gardensound.com, which is this website right here. And then you go to either Volume 2 or Volume 1, depending on which one you would like to download. Let's take a look at Volume 2. So you click on Volume 2, and you've got this page that's got all the different tracks, and some of them actually have names, so those are written in here. But other than that, it's just the number of the episode. And yeah, so this is the volume. It contains all of the songs that I wrote in the month of October. This is Volume 2. And then they're like, well, how do I get it? How do I actually download that? You click Buy Now right here. All right, you can name your price. It asks for $2 or more. 2 is the minimum for the volume. I think that's pretty fair. So we'd say $2. If you have a discount code, apply it here. All right, then go ahead and click Add to Cart or Checkout Now. Let's click on Checkout Now and see what happens. It'll ask us how we like to pay. I'm going to go ahead and say credit card and proceed to payment. Now, I'm not going to actually go through the process of purchasing this because technically, if I type in my information here and buy this from myself, that's illegal. So, what I would need to do then, is type in my credit card number and the security code, my first, last name, my billing address, and zip code, and click Complete Purchase. At that point, Bandcamp would send me an email to my inbox, and it would say, here is a link to download your songs. It's that easy, guys. But anyway, this is how we fund the show. So the revenue that YouTube gets me goes straight to charity. We fund this show through selling music on Bandcamp. So do me a favor, and if you feel like being generous, go pick up a copy of Volume 2. It's only $2. As you've seen, if you want to request any video's song, you want a specific song, just comment on the video like our friend Matt did. If you want to use my music like David did from That Dude in Blue, you know how to do that too. Just request it, and we'll go ahead and serve it up, and you can put it in your video. That was such a big deal, man. 600,000 subscribers. Wow. Synthwave. So like I said, today's turn up is Cassius Clay, and it got me in a synthwave kind of mood. So we're going to be talking about what synthwave is, how it works. I'm going to point out a couple of my favorite artists, And yeah, we're gonna be writing a synthwave tune, and that's gonna be today's video. What is synthwave? Synthwave is, you know what? I'll just read it off of Wikipedia because someone's gonna say that's not synthwave. Synthwave, also called retrowave, is a musical style that emerged in the mid-2000s, influenced by the 1980s soundtrack music. Musically, synthwave is heavily inspired by new wave and the soundtracks of many 1980s films, video games, cartoons, and television shows. So basically, anything that has weird synthesizer sounds from the 1980s, that sort of arcade, retro kind of feel to it, that's going to be considered synthwave. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to consider basically anything that relies heavily on synthesizers and has that sort of 1980s drums, specifically the drums. I'm looking at like drum machine type of drums, you know, with the gated reverb, the Phil Collins style, if you will, the Peter Gabriel style, Genesis, there we go, the Genesis style drum. Anything with that and a synthesizer on top of it, we're going to consider that synthwave. The first one's going to be Kavinsky, which you might have heard of from the Drive soundtrack, the movie Drive. And drums, in this case they're dry, sometimes they're very wet with a lot of reverb. So we had some very dry drums, and we had a vocoded, this is important, a vocoded lyrics, vocoded voice that kind of, you know, that kind of robotic sounding voice. That's a vocoder. Something with an actual microphone stuck into a synthesizer. Nowadays you can get away with doing that in the software. So we've got this vocoded style of lyrics. We've got heavily synthesized background noises, both the bass line, which was going that, and we also had the arpeggiated synthesizer serving as our background music, right? So you've got that synthesized voice, and a synthesizer back layer and a synthesizer bass line. It's all synthesizer. That's the thing. Nothing about this music is real. There's no real drums. It's all straight up from different synthesizer modules, probably. This is Night Runner. This is a common thread with synthwave bands. They've all got this fetish with David Hasselhoff's Knight Rider. It wasn't a good TV show, and I'm probably gonna get crucified in the comments section for saying that, but it wasn't, and I think that's why everybody likes it, because everybody knows it kind of sucked, but it was charming, and it's got everything you expect from an 80s science fiction show, right? Everybody was really focused on the future, and that show was just the future. Is that simulacra of the future that never happened. It's very retro, you know, that new age, that future retro type of thing, retro futurism. The same reason that the DeLorean is popular. It sucks as a car. It was notorious for braking all the time. It didn't even go faster than 100 miles per hour, but it looked like it was from the future. This music is that same kind of thing. It's not the greatest music, but it sounds like it's from the future. It sounds like what robots would listen to. Here is Night Runner, a play on Knight Rider, of course. Let's see what this sounds like. Right. So, there you go. The next example is a little bit more popular, and you might have heard of them. These guys are called Classics, okay? And this is their song, All You're Waiting For, okay? I think I might have talked about this before on the show. But at any rate, this is not technically synthwave. If you asked anybody what this genre is, they might tell you it's like indie electronic. But there's something about it that's so... It feels like synthwave enough for me to count it, and I want to just give this as an example of some of the outer limits of the genre. I love this song. I love that song. Here's one more very recent, popular example of synthwave. This is Starboy by The Weeknd featuring Daft Punk. Classic synthwave. They're absolutely synthwave. In fact, they might be some of the people who brought synthwave back around to popularity in the mid-2000s. They might be partly to blame for the genre's success. Exactly the same criticisms and things that we need to notice about the Kavinsky song are present here. You've got dry drums, you've got a synthesizer bass line, you've got a synthesizer arpeggiator even on top of that, and then the voice, although it's not vocoded, is definitely auto-tuned and touched up with a little bit of pitch correct to give it that artificial sound, okay? So, synthwave, if you had to boil it down to three things: artificial, sounds like the future, heavily used synthesizers. Heavy use of synthesizers. So you know the drill. What we're going to do next is make our own synthwave song, and let's go. And we're off to the races. Boom. There we go. I think the arpeggiation though, that's a MIDI effect. Okay, we'll use Ableton's arpeggiator. No, I didn't want it, crush your spirits, but yeah, so I mean that's synthwave, and make sure you listen to today's Turn Up right after this, and also make sure you listen to the song we just wrote right after this, and leave me a comment in the comment section down below if there's a critical piece that I missed, or if your opinion is different than mine. I'd like to know. Otherwise, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.